I think we are one of the most dynamic and entertaining teams in the league in this moment by creating loads of chances, by playing good football. Yeah, we concede also. We have to learn from it because it was unnecessary to lose the control.
So it looks as if United's chances of qualifying for the Champions League has come to an end. United can't be fourth this season. The best probably United can get to is fifth position. It looks as if United might be settling for Europa League. And even that, there are teams that are creeping from behind and teams that are making inroads in order to usurp United from the current position. But for me, I've always said that as a United fan, I wish we would even play for Europe. Just avoid the Europa League and the Conference League. It will be very embarrassing. We just need to avoid all of that. So guys, welcome. Yesterday we drew 1-1 against Burnley in the game. Today I have my friends with me to get through with the game that we played yesterday. We would also talk about Erik Ten Hag talking about whether we can compete next season for the championship or not. And Marcus Rashford says he's had enough of the abuse. Is Marcus Rashford being abused? Is he being criticized? What is the situation? I'm joined by very good friends. This is the first time on the podcast we are having 3 guests in addition to myself, making it 4 here on the podcast. The regular man, Kwame Ntrubwesiako, is here, and the 2 fighters, Michael Akomia the Messiah and then Philip Sichofe Atrim is here with us. Guys, it's great to have you. Kwame, how are you?
Great. Yeah. I'm good. I'm great.
Great. Akomia, Sicho, thanks for joining us. Let's make a quick turnaround. When we get back, we delve straight into the issue here on United and Everything Football. All right, thank you very much. This is United and Everything Football Podcast. This is not Showdown, please. This is United and Everything. Guys, I'm so excited to have you all with us today. This is the first time we are all converging here. Maybe we'll make more slots so we can have more of the guests, extra slots. So we can have a very big show one of these days. I'm sure we'll do it at the end of the season where we'll have a big show to do a review and all the issues that's regarding United. But Kwame, let me start with you. Burnley 1-1. What went into your mind? You watched the game and do we sound like a broken record now? Because anytime we come, as if we are going to discuss the same thing.
Same old.
The same gap in midfield and the big holes in the midfield and all of that. But how did you see the game?
The inevitable happened. We took a lead and then we controlled it again in the last few minutes. We've been doing that quite a lot over the past few weeks. In fact, since the international break, that's been our story.
Yeah.
We go into leads, we can't keep the leads. Obviously, you called it. You actually called it in our Telegram group. You said, you know what, we're going to consider another late goal, and lo and behold, it happened. Yes. The manner and circumstances around which it happened is quite disappointing, but then nothing surprising anymore. For me, I've shut down the season. I'm just looking forward to one game only. That's the cup final. That's it. No surprises yesterday.
Yeah.
It's just same old United.
Same old United. Akomia, let me get to you. You said Erik Ten Hag should quit and leave their club for them. I don't understand what you mean by that. Why should Erik Ten Hag leave and quit and leave their club for them? What do you mean by that when you say that?
One, I strongly believe that no matter the tactical deficiency that a manager has when it comes to managing Manchester United, this club is like a graveyard for a lot of people that have come in, including players. It is not only about the manager, including players which we thought they are good enough to come and play for this club. When they come and things are not happening for them. And in order for him to save himself some reputation, because the disgrace is becoming too much for him. You are drawing games, you are losing games, you are not getting things right tactically, your changes are becoming a problem. More or less, Kwame, I believe his press conferences shows that he's much more frustrated now. The things he's saying, you look like he's a man with a lot of pressure on him. So save yourself, leave the job. Let them give the job to anybody they feel like he can carry that. Let the person come in. Because we've already heard Sir Jim Ratcliffe talking about it's going to take more than 18 months to restructure and get back to where the club was.
That's correct.
he is the owner. He has invested his money.
Yeah.
He has invested in bringing people who are so much interested in dealing with data. So imagine people who are so much abreasted with data are telling you that it's going to take no less than 18 months to restructure and do a lot of things and get the club back to how it is. Then I mean, this club is a whole mess.
But why should he leave? I'm sure. I remember before we appointed Erik Ten Hag, Kwame and I used to say fortune favors the brave, because there were lots of people who sort of wanted to turn away. I remember he even tried to hire a former PSV assistant coach, and the man said that he's going to take care of his grandchildren and other people. He doesn't have time to come and then be scrutinized by Manchester United. But Erik Ten Hag,
what did Louis van Gaal tell him?
Exactly. Louis van Gaal also advised him. So what I seriously don't get your advice on him leaving, because he knew exactly what he was going into. Michael. Okay, so
Acuna is frozen.
Yes, Acuna is frozen. But Sicho, let me get to you quickly.
Yeah.
What in yesterday's game, I mean, got you angry, got you surprised, got you not so surprised? What in yesterday's game really got you?
Nothing really. It's everything I expected, and it's been Manchester United from the start of the season till now. Football clubs are smart. The mistakes Man United make are reoccurring. So clubs have planned properly when they meet Man United. They know that don't attack Man United through the wide areas. Yes, it's simple to go down the wide areas, but it's easier to go down the middle.
Yeah.
And it's been a reoccurring theme across the season. So nothing in that fixture surprised me. And it is why, for me, Erik Ten Hag surprises me a little bit, because he's not being confronted with different tactical problems every weekend. He's been confronted with the same mistake, the same loopholes, the same approach that opponents threw at him. But week in, week out, he's not found solutions to it. How many times have teams not cut ball back across the face of the 18-yard for them to score? How many times have teams not run through the midfield directly to find goals?
Yeah.
But nothing seems to be working for the manager. And you wonder if he's the pressure on him makes it impossible for him to find the right solutions, or what. It's impossible to understand why a manager can't find a remedy to the problems that has been very evident and clear. So if you ask about what surprised me or what didn't surprise me in yesterday's game, nothing surprised me, and what didn't surprise me was that Burnley created a lot of chances.
Very, very typical. I mean, if you're a United fan, if you've been watching all the games that we've been playing this season, it's one of the most evident scenes that you'd always see in United games, where teams always feel they have a go. Even Sheffield United felt they could have a go at United in the game that we played. Kwame, let's look at it this way. I mean, Ten Hag has bemoaned some decisions that has gone against the club over the last couple of games that we've played, and he seemed to suggest that these things have, I mean, gone against his side over the last couple of games. I mean, how do you think all these decisions have also affected United in this situation? Let me add this: how would you assess his responses to? Because it looks as if other coaches are shouting and backing, and he is talking undertone about all the situations that's happening.
What I would say is the Premier League has always been the Premier League. When I say this, what I do mean is that there's a way the Premier League is managed is one. It's very often the battle to win a Premier League title, compete in a Premier League title, doesn't just occur on the football pitch. It starts in press conferences. It starts in the press room. It starts with what your utterances. I've looked at Pep Guardiola. I've looked at Jurgen Klopp. I've looked at managers like Conte, managers who have actually won the Premier League over the past few years. They've all taken something from the playbook of great Alex Ferguson. You start the war before the actual pitch. Whatever influence you can get in your favor, you take it. Whatever hits that come with those utterances that you make, it's just a hit. You tend to often benefit more by saying something or being very vocal and strong about your opinions concerning some of these bad decisions than not to say anything at all.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have a manager who is not taking these lessons in as quickly as he should.
Yeah.
He feels, you should show respect to the officials from where he comes from, his background, blah, blah, blah. But that's not how Premier League titles are won. That's not how you get things to go in your favor. Because historically, Bad decisions have always happened in the Premier League. Let's not
That's true.
make it look like it's the VAR era. It's always been there since 1993.
Mm-hmm.
We've had decisions go against Manchester United that have cost us titles. Remember the Didier Drogba offside goal in 2011 where they won the title just based off that.
Mm-hmm.
It's been happening since the beginning of time. People used to say the great Alex Ferguson got favours. It's not that he forced the issue. He would be on the touchline despite the fact that his team would be good, but he'll be on the touchline backing at the linesmen, backing at the referees because the game is not only played on the football pitch. What I do think is over the past 11 years, United has lost a lot of respect and lost its aura. So you have people taking decisions against us, and we can't really do anything about it. We don't make much of it. It's because United has lost the fear factor that we used to have. People can come to Old Trafford. I'm talking about referees here. Can come to Old Trafford and manage games any way and anyhow that they want because Manchester United isn't as strong as it used to be anymore. And unfortunately, based off that, we've had a lot of terrible decisions go against us this season. Horrible, especially over the past few weeks. A lot of penalty calls from the Chelsea game, Arsenal game, no, sorry, Liverpool game, right?
Liverpool, Coventry.
The cup, the
Coventry
semi-final.
game, yes.
How different is that decision against Aaron Wan-Bissaka from the one that we saw yesterday in the last minute when Anthony played the ball against the arm of the opponent? Similar, but then, like I'm saying, if United was still United, those decisions would go in our favor, and people would say the rivals, everybody else would say United is being favored. Just as they say Manchester City is being favored now. No, it's because Manchester City is good. Their manager is always up there on the neck. He takes the hits. He says what he needs to say. He's taking everything from the playbook of the great man who won 13 Premier League titles. It's nothing new. He's doing absolutely nothing new. He's just doing the right thing.
Do you not think this is as a result of non-performance and performance? When you look at Mikel Arteta in his first years at Arsenal, when the team wasn't winning with regularity and they were inconsistent, he would say very few things about referees. When he was competing last season, his team was playing so well. He was very vocal about referees. This season, we've seen what he said about referees. Jurgen Klopp, Sir Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger at times, Pep Guardiola. These are managers who are coaching teams that are incredibly great and are playing well, and they are winning games on merit. So they have the credit in the bank to be able to call out referees. But if Erik Ten Hag's Man United is not playing well, and it's like that for many managers whose teams are not playing well. Unless the decision is so obvious that they come out to speak. But the little things that could go either way that could have come into your favor, that's what Alex Ferguson would have had, or Pep would have, or Klopp would have. It's on the back of how well their teams are performing and the credit they have. Unfortunately for Ten Hag, he doesn't have that credit because he can make an excuse about a referee giving a foul that shouldn't have been given, or a referee hasn't given a pen that should have been given. But ultimately, the general outlook of his team is not great. So I think that also stems from that. If your team plays well, and like you mentioned, United of old, they always played well. So the manager could speak. The manager had credit in the bank. He had great players who were performing. Pep Guardiola has same, Klopp has had the same. Arteta now, and that is what Erik Ten Hag doesn't have. If United are playing well, I guarantee you, Erik Ten Hag maybe could have been throwing these tantrums at the official. But at the moment, he has to look himself in the mirror and realize that apart from referee decisions, his team is not playing well.
My response to that is the bad decisions that didn't start this season. It's not just been this season. We can cast our mind back to last season where we're having bad decisions as well. What I'm saying is, it's not so dissimilar from what you're saying. So it's not like an argument. You are right in saying that if you, off the back of so many wins, off the back of success, it's easy to make certain calls in the press, in the media, whatever. That at the end of the day, you get good decisions on the football pitch. But what I'm saying is, it's a culture thing when it comes to the Premier League. It's not just the top managers who are having a go at officials. You have managers in the middle of the league table, at the bottom of the league table, all trying to be as vocal as possible in order. You've seen the things with Nottingham Forest, basically taking on the PGMOL head-to-head right now. Like they are actually at war. You've seen managers down the table, British managers mostly, having a go at these officials. If you are coming from a different league, you must learn and understand that there are certain things that you have to do as a manager to get things in your favor, irrespective. So I'm saying right from last season, I started making these complaints about him not having a go at officials right from last season, even when we were decent. And it's carried through all the way this season. I've just been asking myself, why is this man still being respectful to officials? And he made it very clear. Was it the last press conference or the one before that? When he was asked about Nottingham Forest's reaction to whatever that was happening back then, the Everton game. He sent out a very strong negative statement. And he outrightly condemned it, said it was bad, it should never have happened. And from where he comes from, we should always respect officials. I then concluded that no matter what's going to happen, this man is not going to go down that road that I expect him to. And if you're not going to do that in the Premier League, it's a huge minus from you.
All right.
So yes, we can talk about football, we can talk about all of that, but it's just the man's principle, and that's the issue. If you're going to stick to that principle, you are going to be at the wrong end of these things far more often than not.
So for you, Kwame, you think that Ten Hag has been a little bit more passive in hitting out at some of these officials as compared to what other coaches are doing. But calling out officials and all of that. That if I get you, that's the point you are making, right?
100%.
All right, okay. So for Cicho thinks that perhaps we are not doing very well as a club. So as a result of that, it makes it very difficult for some of these calls, even when you talk about it, to get in your favor. But that's an interesting one. Cicho, Erik Ten Hag made mention of something yesterday when he was talking about team building and the fact that the team is developing and all of that. And he likened that to the 2004-2005 team that Sir Alex Ferguson was rebuilt. And interestingly, I've been on my phone and Paul Scholes has just posted something. He posted a picture of the team and he said that, look at the amount of talent in there. That's exactly. So if you can see from our background, yes, I've shared a picture of what Paul Scholes talked about. So what do you make of that comparison of that team? And what Erik Ten Hag said?
Well, there's no comparison. There's absolutely no comparison. It is true that in that season Chelsea became better because and it's Jose Mourinho who came into the Premier League with something nobody expected. Yeah. And even at that time, maybe Sir Alex Ferguson and the rest of the teams were comfortable. So he just took the team to a certain level that nobody expected them to be. The number of clean sheets, the number of wins, the number of the horrible football they would play and end up winning. Nobody really expected that to happen in the league. But what happened 2 years after that? Man United rebuilt. But Man United's rebuilding. Yeah. They were rebuilding while still being competitive. United were rebuilding while still winning games and staying within touch of the team that was going to win. So there's no comparison here. Yeah. You don't even know if this Man United team, clearly, it's not you don't even know. This United team from last season have made absolutely no progress under the manager. Now, between 2003, 2004, 2004, 2005, 2005, 2006 into 2007, you could see the progression because the young lads who have come through the team, like Ronaldo, like Rooney, were growing not in seasons, but they were growing game by game. Yeah. You can't say same for Garnacho. You can't say same for Maine. You can't say same for Camboala. You can't say same for lots of the players in the club. Yeah. And also then, the more experienced players who were just maybe coming to the end of their careers still had a lot in them to give out to the team and so they could guide these players. I'm not too sure Harry Maguire is guiding anybody. I'm not too sure anybody's guiding Dallo or Wan-Bissaka or anybody's guiding Menu or Casemiro, Varane, who are supposed to be the leaders in the group, are holding the hands of Boyle and Menu, Garnacho and growing with them. So the two projects are completely different. And when he speaks about the fact that that team didn't play exciting football, I wonder what kind of football he was watching. Because that team was very, very exciting. Yet Chelsea were efficient. And that was the difference. United were exciting, but Chelsea were efficient. And that is how Chelsea won the league. I think it was just, grabbing and catching a lot of things that wasn't factual there.
Interestingly, Adam Crafton of the Athletic said that in the 04-05 team, the 05-04 team also finished third, lost only 5 PL games, had plus 32 goal difference, got through the Champions League group stage. So wouldn't be pushing that comparison too hard. Kwame, what's your general thoughts on this comparison that Erik Ten Hag made?
For a while now, I've been telling you that he's a man who is fighting for his job. He's not just talking to us. When he sits at press conferences right now, what the energy I get from him is he's trying to make a case to people, decision makers above him. That's basically all that he's trying to do. So some things that he may say that sounds like it's out of touch. Thank you. That's the word. He is actually campaigning, and he's been doing this. I've been saying he's been doing this since the international break. Ever since the results obviously started going bad, and it looked like the trend was going to continue. He's been on a trail campaigning at press conferences.
Yeah.
He's looking into the camera talking to us, but it's not to us.
It's not to us. He has his audience.
He has his audience, basically. What he's trying to say is he's trying to make a case for a long-term project. Something that you would have to sit down and go like, you know what? You don't have to jump the gun. We are right in the middle of something, and it's best you see it through than go with the usual rhetoric or what the masses are saying or what is fancy or what is a popular opinion right now, which is sack the manager. This is where I go like, let me put it this way. Moyes coming to Manchester United when Manchester United were champions just the season before. Pep Guardiola coming to Manchester City when Manchester City were champions just a couple of seasons before he came.
2 seasons away.
I think the season even before he came, City was in the Champions League semi-final. It's very different from Jurgen Klopp coming to a Liverpool side that hadn't won the league in 30 years and was basically struggling and sporadically winning the Champions League here and there. Or Arteta coming into Arsenal when Arsenal hadn't won the league in over 15, 16 years and were just feeding on FA Cups here and there. The reason why I bring up these two scenarios is when you come into a team that is challenging or has been there, just right there, the expectations are a lot different. What I expected from Moyes 11 years ago was to compete right away. What I expected from Pep Guardiola at City is to continue with what Pellegrini had just left over and take it to a step higher. But then what you do realize is with Klopp, with someone like Arteta, they would need time to build the team to where it needs to be because the team has been in the wilderness for way too long. And unfortunately, that is exactly where we've built this 11 years to, where we have been in the wilderness for way too long and need time, need someone. And in this case, I feel it should be Erik Ten Hag because he's right almost at the end of his tenure. Why don't you just see it through? But we do need someone to build this club over a period of time, a project, not expect something spontaneous, something so immediate, because that is not going to happen. It's not. And historically, our football club, I always go back to history. We've been through these cycles before where we do turnover of managers and it doesn't work. Go back to the great Sir Mark Busby, you go back to Alex Ferguson. They all had to take time to get us back to where we used to because we had gone through long spells without any form of sustained success. They came under the same pressure, the same, you need to go, the manager needs to go, the manager is blah, blah, blah. But then sometimes you have to take a bold step, block out the noise and go like, we need to fix something over a longer period of time. What I would add to that before I just leave the room because Akomia is here, is that clubs are built in certain ways this time. We should stop cheating the game. Let's stop cheating the game. Manchester United have been cheating the game post Alex Ferguson by not setting up to be successful. In effect, what we've done is we've just rolled out the carpet for managers just for them to jump into the flames. We are damaging the reputation of many a good manager based off the fact that we are not set up properly for managers to succeed. Let's set up just as Liverpool have set up just yesterday. Properly for a manager to be able to have the best shot of trying to fix us. That's just it.
Anyway, that's quite interesting. Akumia, we're just talking about Erik Ten Hag comparing the 2004-2005 team and the kind of experiences that they had till now. Sito seemed to disagree. Kwame takes another tangent about looking at history and club building and had to make some examples of Jurgen Klopp, the situation he met, the situation that Pep Guardiola met, and all of that. Let me bring you in on this. If let's say I'm a decision maker, all right, and I look at Erik Ten Hag's work this season. There is nothing. It's nothing good to write home about. I mean, the only positive you take is that the club is in another final in the FA Cup. You look at all of these actions and what the club has been through over the period, and do you honestly believe that Erik Ten Hag deserves another chance or deserves a shot at continuing with the thing or the project that he's doing at Man United when a lot of problems has been quite evident in terms of his own tactics and his own approach to play this season?
Kwame, to be very honest, if I'm being quite biased, I would love Erik Ten Hag to continue. But on the other side of the coin, I would love the club to part ways with Erik Ten Hag. The reason why I would love Erik Ten Hag to continue is this. One, last season, we saw a certain level in the foundation that has been laid.
Yeah.
We entered into the transfer market. Personally, I felt that Erik Ten Hag was not helped at all in that particular transfer market. Not helped in the sense of money, but not helped in terms of talent ID, bringing in top players and helping him get quality players that fit what he started. Even in our normal lives, whenever we go to school, we need help from our teachers. No matter how intelligent you are, you will definitely need help.
Not to stop you in your tracks, not to stop you. We are made to believe that Erik Ten Hag spoke to Mason Mount himself.
Yes.
Erik Ten Hag wanted Onana, and these are all on record. If the Athletic is credible, and we know they are credible, I am sourcing my this thing from them.
Of course.
He wanted Mason Mount. He wanted Onana. He wanted Rasmus Højlund. And he wanted Sofian Amrabat. So when you talk of help, where is this whole help coming from? Or where is, because he even has in his contract that he would have a certain degree of say in the players that are brought into the club. So what sort of help are you talking about here? I am a bit confused.
Yes, one, we are not privy to the contract that he's having. Let me finish. We are not privy to the contract that he's having. None of us have an eyes on the contract that Erik Ten Hag signed. None of us, absolutely none of us.
What have I said?
Now we wanted Onana. We wanted Onana.
Yeah.
We wanted Onana. Good. We spoke to Onana. We got Onana because David De Gea was leaving.
Yeah.
Erik Ten Hag wanted Mason Mount. Good. We wanted Mason Mount. We got in Mason Mount.
Yeah.
Erik Ten Hag wanted another midfielder in attachment to Mason Mount. And the club had to wait till we got even Sofian Amrabat on loan as an option to the latter part of the season. Number 4, he wanted an experienced striker in attachment to whatever that we have with Rasmus Højlund. Am I right?
Yeah.
He stated on that.
Yeah.
In this context, we could take it from 2 points of views.
Yeah.
1, the club might not have helped him in getting him an experienced midfielder in attachment to maybe Mason Mount. And secondly, the club did not also give him a proper, let me say, option when it comes to getting another midfielder in attachment to Mason Mount.
Yeah.
We've seen various clubs tell us that this coach wanted this particular kind of player within the team. But the scouting team told him that this and this and that, no matter what you do, this is who we are picking. That is the sporting director, and this is what is going to help the project. We've seen those things at different clubs, and it works for them. Then you look at getting an experienced striker in attachment to Rasmus. Even in January, we asked, Erik Ten Hag was asking.
Let's go. Let's continue. The broadcast.
Finish your point.
Just finish your point.
You see, so one part of me says Erik Ten Hag should continue because of the perfect example I gave concerning building a house. Another part of me also asks for Ten Hag to leave because maybe, just maybe, the players that we have in this squad are good enough, but he's not maximizing the quality in them. So another manager could come in and could win the league or win a major trophy with this team.
Akomia, can I ask you a question? Do you think this team is good enough?
Personally, I believe this team is not good enough to win titles.
Okay.
I believe this team is not good enough to win titles. But it is presumed, it is actually assumed that this team is good enough to win trophies, and Erik Ten Hag is not maximizing their quality per everything we see around the tabloids.
Okay.
So to make sure that we know that this team is good enough to win trophies, he should leave. For allow somebody else to come and continue, and let's see if the person is going to win league titles or trophies with these players.
That's quite interesting. Akumia, guys, let's go for a quick break. When we come back, I would get to Sichu. And Erik Ten Hag has also spoken about, okay, let's use this break to listen to Erik Ten Hag, where he speaks about whether United can challenge for the title next season when asked by the press during his press conference on Friday. So let's listen to Erik Ten Hag. When we come back, I'll pick the thoughts on Sichu, on all that has been said about his transfers, getting help and continuing the project and all the other things here on United and Everything Football. Let's listen to Erik Ten Hag. We'll be right back after this.
This year we stand still, but I think when everyone is available, we are competing for top 4. I'm confident of that. Although I have to see there are some teams, it's not anymore 2-horse race or 3-horse race in the Premier League. There is Villa, there is Spurs, there is Newcastle. So many good teams. There are 6-7 teams who all can compete. Chelsea, don't forget them. They are all competing for top 4, and we are one of them. But we are not in this moment in this position to compete for number 1 or 2. That is fact. But I think we can come closer if we make a good window.
Okay, so that was Erik Ten Hag there, giving us his thoughts on what he feels, on whether he feels United can compete next season. But Sichu, the question I asked Akwemi, I would want to pose the same thing to you before we get to this particular one. I mean, given everything, if you're a decision maker, are you going to look at Erik Ten Hag, what he's done this season, and say, Eric, I don't think you've done enough to merit a continuation at this club? When you look at all of this, will you make that decision? Or would you give him another chance?
Yes and no. Yes, because his coaching hasn't been good. And that has got nothing to do with the players available or players not available, the players he signed and the players he didn't sign.
Okay.
When you see a team that is well coached, you can tell and go on and say, wow, if they get this player, they are good. Wow, if they get a clinical finisher, they are great. Wow, if they get one centre back, they are good. That is a team that is properly coached. That is a team that is very well coached.
Yeah.
Every time Man United is not well coached. And that is why you look at the whole team and you think you need to change the whole entire 11. But the entire 11 is not bad. The entire 15 players aren't bad. Sometimes you need squad players, and you can't even use squad players. He's speaking as if, but people are talking as if he needs 11 world-class footballers to be able to play the way he wants to play. The team needs to be coached for us to see that at the end of the day, it was a bad back pass that led to the team losing. But when the team's problem is structural, it's got absolutely nothing to do with players. Because guess what? At the start of the season, there was no Menu. At some point, there was no Casemiro. At some point, we had Menu and Casemiro, and the problems were still there. At some point at the back, when the team kept conceding with all the cutbacks and what have you, there was Shaw, there was Dalot playing their natural position, there was Varane, and at some point, Varane and Maguire, Varane and Evans, Varane and whoever. The defensive problems and the number of saves Onana had to make then is still the same. Throughout the whole season, Højlund has lacked service. Throughout the whole season, the white players have not necessarily been intelligent enough in making positions where they can allow fullbacks to even join games. That is not the quality of players alone. That is coaching. So his coaching hasn't been great, but it is disappointing because we also have a very good coach from Ajax, whose methods were clear, irrespective of the players he had. So when you look at Ajax's team, the team that went all the way to the Champions League semi-final, and in the end, he couldn't manage the game, and Spurs came back in the last 10 minutes to win when it was leading by 2 goals. That team and the team that they got the next season that followed, I tell you what, the team had a chemistry, the team had principle, the team had style, irrespective of who had left the club. And so we all knew that given certain personalities in the team, they could repeat the feat. But it wasn't to be. At Man United, we've not seen that. So no, I don't think he's been a great coach. I don't think his coaching has been good, especially this season. I'll keep him in the job, yes, because the setup that he was successful with in Ajax seems to be coming to Manchester United, similar setup, where he's only going to be focused on the 90 minutes on the pitch and the training, coaching. So he's not going to be a manager, he's going to be a coach. And so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that if all these guys that the Ineos wants to bring in are in place, then Erik Ten Hag can now focus on, because I'll tell you, if Erik Ten Hag wanted Mason Mount and the structure was in place, maybe they tell him, no, you're not getting Mount. His injury record is not good. He's not number 8. He's not better number 10 than Bruno. He can't play in the wings. He's not number 6. Forget Mount. What about this player? Then Ten Hag can say, oh, I didn't even pay attention to that prospect. Bring him in. If you wanted Anthony and the structure was there, the structure was going to be, it's not like Anthony. He might be good for every defensive, but he doesn't have the natural pace and skill set to be a typical Premier League winger. You see, when you're bringing players to Man United, you have to ask if their profile fits Premier League standard. Because they might be great in La Liga, they might be great in Germany, but they won't thrive in the Premier League. So maybe every time he goes with his guts, but with a better structure above him, they will tell him, I'm not too sure Højlund is the player we want. We want a player who can do a lot more than Højlund. And maybe when that happens, we can see a proper coaching from Erik Ten Hag than we saw in Ajax. So it's two things. I don't think his coaching has been great this season, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and create a structure for him to work with and see if he thrives in that new environment that Ineos wants to bring. So it's not an easy decision for Ineos to make, and I'm happy I'm not making that decision for them.
Kwame.
Yes, Kwame, let me hear you.
You see, Kwame, I wanted to speak a little bit about the structure stuff. These things about the structure is so wrong, it shows that he hasn't coached well. Kwame, what is a coconut without the water? Is coconut a coconut without the water that is in it? You can never talk about coconut without talking about the water that is in the coconut.
Okay.
So if
where are you driving at?
I'm driving at the case that you can talk about structures, you can talk about a lot of things, but you can never tell me that you are talking about the structures without the players that are involved.
Okay. So what the point you are trying to make?
You can ask me a question.
Okay, go on.
Do you genuinely believe that Coventry, who dominated Man United for the second 45 minutes and the 30 minutes in extra time, and Sheffield United, Burnley, and most of Copenhagen, and most of the team the club has played against this season, do you genuinely believe that they have a better group of players than Man United?
Of course not.
You might lose against City. You might lose against Liverpool. You might lose against Arsenal, no problem. But when you meet teams that your squad is better than, it needs to show. And so, yes. Yes.
The reason why I'm cutting you off is what we term technical quality. What we term technical quality. You know, Manchester United have a crop of players within the setup, which personally, I feel when it comes in quotes, technical quality, they really lack it.
So again, I ask you again, are you saying that Sheffield United?
And most of them is, most of them is about names.
Akobia, listen to Sito's question very well. I think it's quite clear enough.
Based on what you said, that the team lacks technical quality, are you in any way saying that the players in Sheffield United, the players in Burnley, the players in Coventry or Copenhagen or a lot of these clubs have players with better technical quality than the group of players Erik Ten Hag has had to work with this season?
Yes, at some point.
Okay.
That's interesting.
At some point. The reason why I use at some point, the reason why I'm using at some point is the players that are available. Scott McTominay might be a good player, but technically, if you should allow Scott McTominay to play with someone who is equally technically or above technically than him, he might struggle in making sure that even getting closer to that player will be a problem. You look at Aaron Wan-Bissaka, technical quality. Look at what Wan-Bissaka was doing in the game yesterday. And he had to even take Dwight York to even say or comment that Manchester United should start using Aaron Wan-Bissaka as the last man standing in defense. So when you look at these petty things, you might understand that maybe the names are bigger. Wan-Bissaka is a big name. Scott McTominay might be playing Manchester United, is a big name. But when you pick or you go into the smaller details in terms of technical quality, I'm using that keyword, technical quality. When you put those players maybe on par with these players, you might talk about other qualities that are there. Maybe pace, maybe stamina, maybe a lot of things are there. But the key word technical.
Okay.
Maybe they might not be above them.
Anyway, that's.
Can I just say
Kwame,
something?
I was actually coming to you. I'm giving you some 2 minutes to make a quick one. Yes.
I've put my little big finger up.
Let's hear
just as Sitcho and Akomia didn't give straightforward answers as to whether Erik Ten Hag should go or Erik Ten Hag shouldn't go. What we should realize right now is our problems aren't just black and white. It shouldn't just be a coaching problem.
Yeah.
It's a squad problem. Our problem is a club problem. See, it's the whole damn club. We are sick. We are suffering from a disease that needs thorough management.
Yeah.
And it's not just about sucking them. See, that's why I'm saying let's just all just pause. If Ineos understand our problem as they've made us to know that they know the disease that the disease the club has, they would not be listening to the outside noise right now. They should have a plan for the club that says, how come managers have come and they have suffered? How come we've made a lot of big money signings and they come and then they have suffered? We've not built good teams. We have not built good teams. This squad comprises of all the debts we've collected over the past 11 years. Some players fit a certain style, others don't. It's just jammed up right now. We have a manager who comes from a certain school of thought or way of working. He comes into our club and he's asked to even play a style of football that we didn't go and hire him to come and play. He's a player, he's a coach who coaches possession-based football. We said Manchester United is a club that has always played transition football. So you have to incorporate our history and our style of play into your mode of operation, which is sickening for me. Then you go on about trying to give him power to sign players when he's never had that power to sign players anyway. We've just done things upside down. We've mismanaged how we are supposed to run as a football club. We have to reset, sit down and go like, let's put things right properly. Let's build a team for the club. If the manager doesn't fit the game model, as is now a fancy word, game model that we do not want, you get rid of him. If you think he can't fit that game model, which I do believe he does fit because originally that's the style of football he plays anyway. Forget about this transition thing that we've been talking about. I feel the people that we've employed are from the school of possession-based football. Get Erik playing possession-based football. Get players, like Sitcho said correctly, who are Premier League ready footballers, who can come into that style of football and play it. So much so that if the manager doesn't even pull it off, he's gone in a year. You don't even have to fire him.
Yeah.
You actually don't even have to fire him. He's gone in a year. You bring in a new man who fits that game model, and then we take it from there. There is no need for us to go back and forth on this, honestly.
It's
like, season's done.
Yeah.
Let's just get the cup final. This summer, we try and get in as many right people as possible.
Yeah.
And then we kick on from there.
That's it. I mean, it answers whether we are ready for next season or not. The press conference that Erik Ten Hag talked about whether we can compete. Clearly, it looks as if
there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work.
Let me get to Sitcho next. Sitcho, in a minute, do you think that, assuming we make the right signings and some changes do happen or whatsoever, do you think we can give the title challenge a shot?
Yeah, I think so because Erik Ten Hag has been in the job for next season is going to be his third season.
Yeah.
And if you make the right signings for him, he's coming up against a Liverpool team who have got a new manager who now has to maybe then build his own team, bring his own expertise and everything. So there is that. They've got an Arsenal team who is also there with Mikel Arteta. Then there is Pep Guardiola's team.
Yeah.
Pep Guardiola's team is going to need some new faces or changes. You're not too sure about Kevin De Bruyne. You're not too sure about Bernardo Silva and lots of other things. If you make the right signings, they've got the right structure about Erik Ten Hag, a manager who's known the league for 2 years now. and he's got the players who can play his brand of football, there's no way United should not be challenging at least through mid-season. I'm not saying they should win, and that's what you think. I'm not asking Erik Ten Hag to win the league in the first year or the second year. In the second year, I'm asking.
Sicho, your okay. Looks your microphone is mute. Sicho, your microphone is mute. So, Sicho, your microphone is mute. Your mic. Let's hear you again, Sicho. So you were talking about your microphone it's on off again. Okay. Today he's been bereft of a lot more technical challenges, but we'll pull through it. Yeah. Sicho, let's hear you. Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was saying that with Erik Ten Hag, having spent 2 seasons in the Premier League, if the structure above him is great, and you bring in the players that can get to play his brand of football, and all the best to him, he's not lost his coaching abilities.
Yeah.
Then he should be able to compete in the Premier League at least till mid-season. I'm not going to ask him to win the league.
Yeah.
I need to be right up there, pushing, causing problems, creating fear into title winners if they meet Man United, establishing his brand of football. He now knows the league. Yeah. He now will have a structure above him. He now can bring in his own players. And Liverpool are going through a change. City might lose Kevin De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva. That's not going to make them any stronger.
Yeah.
Because after Arsenal is here, you wonder if he can still do what he's doing this season. He should give him, I'm not sure Chelsea are competing anytime soon. He should give him the ability and the opportunity to be able to get close to the top and see what he's got to be if the structures around him is right.
All right, okay. I wish I could give everybody the opportunity, but I mean, our points are well enough. We don't have enough time to be able to go through all of that. But in 2 minutes each, let's wrap it up with Marcus Rashford. Akomia, is he being abused? And is enough?
I don't support abuse.
Yeah.
I don't agree with abuse. I don't know what Marcus Rashford is actually trying to translate into abuse. I don't know what he sees as an abuse. So more or less, I think he has to become very much clear. If he's trying to say that criticisms is an abuse, I don't know. But from his point of view and from what I've seen around, I've seen people call him Trashford. I've seen people call him all sorts of names. I don't agree with an abuse.
Yeah.
But what I agree with is he must back up with his performances. He needs to step up. He's 26 years. He's not growing any younger.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be an example for the kids that is coming through the ranks to come and play for the senior team.
Yeah.
He needs to start being responsible for his actions.
Okay.
He needs to start being responsible for his performances on the pitch.
Okay.
If enough is enough for the abuse, enough is enough for him blaming others for his performances and getting enough excuses for his performances, I don't condone to any abuse. But it depends on the line which Marcus Rashford is trying to distinguish between what is criticism and what is abuse.
Okay.
I believe if it is around his performances, what he should be doing, what should enhance his performances, that he calls an abuse, I don't agree with him. Enough is enough. He should start backing up. But if it is the name calling, things that are not necessarily important that people are calling him, putting on him, saying all sorts of things, then I believe enough is enough. That abuse should stop.
All right. Okay, Kwame, let me get to you. Rashford, your guy. Since the issue came, I've monitored. I know you so well. You've been quiet because I know your position. But let's hear.
Yes.
Let's hear you.
What I would say is let's not pretend that the boy is dumb and doesn't know the difference between abuse and criticism. Let's not pretend. We see it even in our local circle when it comes to our local Twitter. I don't even want to go into British Twitter because I monitor that a lot.
Yeah.
We know the jargons and terms people use.
Yeah.
Trashford, all sorts of things. Goldridge was on his platform with Winter, talking about this very same topic. And Winter brought out things that Goldridge says. I don't want to use the words.
Yeah.
When you're insulting somebody, it's different from criticizing the person's failures and the person's mistakes. That's different. When you're talking about you are not playing well, you are playing horribly. You should be on the bench. Others should be playing ahead of you. That is criticism. It's fair. He's been awful this season. He's been absolutely awful this season. But when you do go onto his space, we've done this to players in the past. Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
Harry Maguire is a man amongst men. I call him a man amongst men now because whatever Marcus Rashford is talking about as abuse, he experienced that tenfold a couple of seasons ago, even last season.
Yeah.
And yet people were going like, but then it's because Harry Maguire is not playing well, so he deserves whatever that is coming his way. That is not criticism. That was abuse.
Yeah.
He knows what abuse is. I'm very sure he's referring to all those insults, all those derogatory comments in his face, on the media, on radio stations, on so many different platforms. That's exactly what he's referring to. Let's not pretend that we don't see those things. When you do call out his performances, you criticize his performances, it is 100% fair.
Yeah.
The reason I've been quiet on this subject is people are trying to make it look like he is dumb and doesn't know the difference. He knows what he's calling out. He's not calling out your criticism. He's calling out your insults, your derogatory words. It's just too much. Rashford is on record as one of the most abused athletes on the planet. I'm talking about in all sports. You've seen those charts from Twitter, Facebook, every other media. To the extent that LeBron James, as popular as LeBron James is, there's a list that has Rashford as number 2 most abused athletes on this planet. Let's not pretend that the young man is dumb. He's not dumb. He's been awful, but let's just be fair in the way that we transmit our messages. If we are criticizing, let's criticize. Let's not be insulting him and calling him Trashford. That's even the least of the abuse I'm talking about. The Trashford is the least. And you know it.
Let me quickly switch to Sicho. Sicho, Rashford.
Yeah.
Enough is enough.
Yeah, listen, I'll be surprised if anybody has not seen an abuse of Rashford on social media. If you're active on social media,
he's even black. Sicho, he's even black, so you can imagine other things he sees. I don't want to go there.
That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised if there's anybody who's active on social media as a sports fan has not seen abuse being held at Marcus Rashford. It's been there. And it's been actually stepped up because of his poor performances across the season and his body language when he plays, almost as if he's not interested in playing the game. He's lost a bit of passion for the game and what have you. So yeah, I get it. When we speak about Marcus Rashford, we'll criticize his performances, the fact that he doesn't work hard for the team enough, the fact that for a player with the talent that he's got, he should be producing way more than he does. We'll speak about all of that. But when it crosses the line, then there's an abuse.
Yeah.
But I've talked through this over and over and over again. That not this podcast, not all the big sports platforms can stop people from abusing people on social media. It is the sad truth.
True.
Because when you get onto social media, the way you sign up social media is said that nobody really knows who you are. You can just get on there with a ghost account and abuse people for free.
True.
And there are very, very bitter, stupid people in this world who are just idiots and would only abuse people for the fun of it. And all they want to do is to make you feel sad. And when you are sad, they feel good about themselves. And social media won't change that.
Yeah.
This podcast won't change that. All the sports platforms won't change that.
Yeah.
I think that players now need to start growing very tough skins.
Yeah.
I'm in a very small country like Ghana, but I suffer a lot of abuse on social media because I own out my opinions and I'm hard on them. But my skin is tough. I don't care about what people say. But it gets to people. It really gets to people. And these are professionals who have, and if I'm in Ghana and I see the abuse, these are people who have millions of followers and millions of people mentioning them and abusing them. So you can imagine the ripple effect of how it affects their family, their friends, their spouses, their partners, and what have you. It's an unfortunate thing that has happened. Our players now need to know how to deal with. We need to stop talking about how to stop people from abusing people. I've come to the realization that it won't stop. We can't stop people.
That's true.
Because of the way social media is done.
So you have a lot of experience.
Absolutely. So we need to now start talking about how people who are going to be affected by abuse are going to deal with it. So that is why I think football clubs, sports psychologists, and family and friends around these athletes need to start focusing on how they deal with the abuse on social media for their own mental health, for their own performances, and what they can channel those energies to focus on. It's sad, it's pathetic, it's shameful, stupid, and silly. Sorry for Rashford, but he needs to start performing on the pitch.
Guys, this might be our longest recording ever. You should understand we had an extra person, so an extra. Normally we are.
Yo,
Tale guys, thank you, Sicho, thank you, Akobia, thank you, Kwame.
Yes. It's been nice, but let me say, I really commend Sicho's last point on the structure above Erik Ten Hag and what it's actually going to bring.
Yeah.
Let me say that was a very, very, very good take. I think that will make us know whether Ten Hag is a very good coach that could handle.
Where did I sleep today? Tucho and Akomia agree.
What's funny is they'll talk like this, and then in 5 minutes, they'll go on Twitter, and then they'll be at war again.
Where did I sleep today, God?
The fight is going to continue over there.
Guys, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. Thank you so much.
Yes,
I think this is the best I've enjoyed so far on this podcast. I really enjoyed myself. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time with us on United Everything Football Podcast. You watching, subscribe, hit the notification button if you've not done it. You see this beautiful analysis, beautiful people here, trying to digest all the issues. I mean, the knowledge here is so huge. So remember to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. We're bringing you a lot more here on United Everything Football. Guys, thank you so much. We see you on the next one. United Today continues throughout the week. And have a great time. We hope that United bounces back. But I don't want to play Europa or Conference League. That one, I cancel it in Jesus' name. Have a great time and bye-bye.